Okay, I'd like to talk tonight about the Yiquan Yang Sheng Set, or the Health Preservation Set. Um, this set basically helps to balance the body and is a core set that I'll use for daily training or helping someone with illness. It's relatively easy to do. So we start, it's 13 postures long. We start first in Wuji, where we stand in emptiness. The feet, now in a lot of these videos, I'm not like shooting for the most perfect postures, because if you actually do these exercises and twist your body into these postures before they're ready to, you'll torque your knees over time. And I was run over by a car and have various injuries that there's musculature that I no longer have neurological connection with. And so that being said, I'll demonstrate better postures tonight for those concerned with that. But in general, you want to be comfortable when you stand. If you try to force yourself into these postures and your body doesn't want it, you're going to pay for it. That being said, the first posture is Wuji, and I'll just sit and release and hang. So I'll stand like this. It could be a minute at first, and then build yourself up to several minutes per posture. 3 to 5 minutes, you know, if you're trying to just develop some skill. But you could stand for 40 minutes in one posture, an hour in one posture. For now, I would say go for smaller amounts. Don't seek big advances. Seek small advances. So you stand here and release. The mind and the body will settle. Chin is tucked. Chest is hollow. Light sensitive energy in the top of the head. Tailbone is, they say, raised, which basically means you draw up the perineum area and things pull in, and just hang like from above. Your eyes, I'm looking into the camera, but I would want to actually look with my eyes slantingly upward, Mr. Chan would say, which is looking above the horizon. So this is the first posture. The second posture, we would come to put the Lao Gong, where the middle finger rolls into a fist. We make a fist where the middle finger touches between these two bones, and the finger is Lao Gong. We're going to cross the hands where the thumb is going to touch in the base, the other thumb in what's called the anatomical snuff box. It's a little indentation there. And then the pinkies cross, and that lines the Lao Gong up, and we want to put the Lao Gong to our navel. Okay, so, and you don't just do this or this and this, but everything begins and ends together. So as I'm raising my hands, I want to sit. So I sit into position and stand. Then we come out of that position. Again, we would do each one for whatever you determine, a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. This next posture, raise the hands up and drop the tailbone and sit. The thumb should be about the level of the eyes. The Lao Gong and the Yin Tong points line up, and you want to aim them, your palms, so that these all line up in the distance. So when I bring the hands up, I want to sink and sit in balanced opposition. Mr. Chan called this like holding a camera. The next position, the universal post. I like to coil in so that when my arms are coming up, my elbow drops, which causes the arm to fall into position versus me or unwind into position versus me like forcing it into some shape. So now this here, the Lao Gong points want to be about the height of your nipple. The hands are not squared like this in the front. The thumbs are not up like this. The hands are open like this on top so that you could set a book. And when the hand is turned this way, it's not stiff and straight, but it's relaxed, so it makes like steps. And the body will put these somewhere. If I place them too close together like this, and I stand for a while, my body's going to fatigue and fall into position if I stand long enough. If my arms are back here too much, it'll fatigue this way. If I'm out too far, it'll not only pull me out of balance and choke up my breath, but it'll fatigue and want to fall into center, and it'll go past center. And you'll do this kind of, over time, little adjustments where you're opening up or closing until you find like what center is. The next position, coil in. This is lifting and embracing. The next position, Mr. Chan would say this is for the genetics, but the palms connect through the lower organs. So prostate. It's also very good for the kidneys, this particular one. The next one, standing like a 4-footed animal. The hands are pressing down, the head's pressing up, and you're sitting down. Stretching the spine in opposition. Hands are not flat like this. The fingers don't turn in, which pulls you forward, and they don't turn out, which throws you back. They face forward and on a slight angle like this, approximately 45 degrees. That allows the elbow to drop. If I make it flat, it pops my elbows. The intent should be in the index, thumb, and middle fingers, with the other fingers being more yin and along for the ride. From there, we'll coil into covering the dantian versus covering the navel. So I'm going to put this area here, hegu, to my navel, or really it's not hegu specifically, it's just this crossed the tissue here. And that lines up Lao Gong with dantian. So now the next one here, we're going to coil and sit as these come out, not up, but out. So again, if I bring these out to the side like this actually oppresses the breath, makes me want to fall backwards, and it blocks my energy. So I want to keep the hands in my peripheral vision. Let the elbows drop, shoulders sink, tuck the chin, hollow the chest. The next posture is, don't let the fingers, just hang loose this way, it'll pull you out. And the hands aren't mashed together tight, they just touch light at the fingertips, and they're open in the middle, largely. Next posture. Now the next posture I go again to covering the dantian. So and the last posture we return to emptiness, or Wuji. After you're done standing, you want to let the blood start to circulate. So we'll either do some shui shou, where we're rocking back and forth on the feet, swinging the hands in opposition. Or Mr. Chan would do a little sort of marching, you know, and then eventually he would pick them up higher and higher and higher to get the blood flowing. You don't want to just start moving from stillness, especially if you've been doing it for a while, because the blood's going to be in a lot of different places that it's not normally, and it could, you could get dizzy, you could fall, you might have a leg that's not fit yet and isn't, like falls asleep. A lot of things can happen. When you do this initially, because you're not, you know, moving, the body is going to, you know, strain holding itself up after a while, and the heart rate might increase. But then the arteries will dilate to neutralize that, and the body will also become more vascular over time doing this. So that just like when your legs get fit when you ride a bicycle, all of a sudden, you know, the circulatory system starts to sprout, so to speak, within the muscles, and it gets more efficient at removing toxins and replacing with oxygen. Set is very useful. It can be adapted to seating, and I'll go over doing that in another video. Thank you.